The 2023 Porsche Macan, and it is considered to be the best driving compact SUV ever made. And today I'm here to find out whether it's true or not. So let's do it. So let's kick off this video by talking about Macan and its prices. So in India, Macan comes in 3 variants only, and to kick off the base variant, which is this Macan Standard, which comes for 96 lakhs ex-showroom. Above that is your Macan S, which comes for 1 crore and 44 lakhs, and above that is your Macan GTS, which comes for a whopping price of 1 crore and 53 lakhs. Before I kick off this video, a big thank you to Revit Autosports for lending out the car to us. They've got an amazing collection of pre-owned luxury cars both in Delhi and Gurgaon. All the links are in the description below, so guys, check them out. This being the standard Macan, it only shares the headlights with other variants of the Macan, and as you can see over here, there is a single LED strip that goes over here, but in the other variants you have a dual LED strips, and over here are your blocked air intakes, which in other variant are open on both sides for improved performance. And as you can see over here, this part of the middle air intake is also blocked, which is also open in other variants because you're paying more money. From the side, this Macan has this kind of coupe-ish SUV look to it, which in my opinion looks really cool, but from the side, it just looks like any other compact SUV except these bulges on the fenders on the back and on the front. And your side depends on which variant you pick. For instance, this Macan has the standard starting 19-inch alloys, and they move up the range. As you opt an S, you get an 20-inch alloy, and as you go for the GTS, you get a 21-inch alloys. Also, you get carbon ceramic brakes in the upper variants, which in my opinion is good for track performance. For daily use, normal steel brakes would do. What it shares with other Macans is your fuel tank, which is 65 liters, and your side view mirrors. And also this Porsche claimed aerodynamic channel, which makes the car aerodynamically sound, but I don't know if that's true or not, but for sure it does look cool. And brings me down to the clamshell bonnet. I mean, look at the size of this, guys. It's massive. It has your cutouts for your headlights as well, and your exposed fender goes up there, and inside is your chassis. But that brings my attention down to this massive powerhouse of the baby Porsche. This Macan is packed with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, which is turbocharged, combined with Porsche's PDK dual clutch gearbox, which puts out 261 bhp and 400 Newton meters of torque.
Now that we know what she's packing, let's hear what she sounds like.
That sounds amazing. I did not expect a 4-cylinder to make this sound, which brings me on to the exhaust design of this Macan. So over here you have your single piped exhaust on each side, but as you move up the variant, the Macan S and the GTS, you have your quad pipes over here, and they even sound sweeter. Now above this is your base bumper for your Macan, but as you move up the variant, it has more sporty styling touches to it. Now coming on to the main design feature, the eye-grabbing part of the rear. It is this tail bar which goes all across the whole rear, and it looks nice. And below that is your Porsche letters, which are sort of 3D imprinted and looks cool. Major design updates in the interior of the Porsche Macan in this generation was that the buttons are gone, and you have got a new updated infotainment screen, which is good, but onto that later in the video. But entire look and feel of the car feels expensive and luxurious, even though it's not been opted by the premium leather package that you get on other variants of the Macan. You still have lovely touch materials all over the dash, continuing the sides of the windows. and wherever you look around there is aluminium plushing everywhere. Being a Porsche, it just feels nice. Now moving on to the seating position. Being a compact SUV, you do not sit this low. Me being a very tall guy, I need to sit low because I can see everything, but look at the adjustability of the seat. It's an 8-way adjustable seat and look how high it goes. Now moving on to the practicality. Let's talk practicality. So over here, as you can see, Macan has space, but not that much of space because a lot of things are cluttered. And of course, being an entry-level Porsche, this is a small car, but still they've done a decent job. As you can see, there's this bottle that fits right in the bottle holder, and another same size bottle can come right next to it. In between, you have your cup holders. One of the cup holder is taken by this ashtray, which is a Porsche branded ashtray, but if you're not using it, you have two decent sized cup holders and they grip well. Also, they're deep enough so your liquid won't fall here and there. You have some extra storage space over here right in the glove box. As you can see, it's a fairly standard glove box, not that pretty much big. Also, you do have a light inside to find items at night. The center space is not that great. The box is not that deep, so you cannot keep bigger items. For smaller items, say phone or something like that, it's pretty much okay. Also, it has two C-type lightning cable USB ports to charge your phone fast. Now, like in the front, you had two cup holders. In rear, you also got two cup holders, but for your arm. What positioning is this? They had to just force it up. In the front, you could fit two bottles, but in the rear, you can only fit one. But coming down to the center console, you have two C-type, again, lightning cable USB ports right here to keep both the passengers engaged while you're driving along.
Now that we've covered the practicality, it brings me on to what Porsches are known for. Its handling and its lovely steering wheel. I mean, look at this thing. The center crest is staring right at you. And one more thing, the drive mode selector is on the steering wheel, so you don't have to take your hands off while you're driving to change your drive mode selector. And the drive mode is displayed on the small screen under your rev meter, which shows which drive mode you have. It's Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus and Individual. Now, the buttons on the steering wheel are plasticky, but what I feel, these are nickels in the whole picture, the big picture. These are the small things and sometimes you got to ignore them, but still the buttons feel intact. They've got a good sound. You've got a rotatory dial on each side, one to control the internal screen and one for volume and other features. Now I'm going to tell you some of the most bizarre things that Porsche have done to the Macan. So let's see them.
Also, Porsche are known for charging more money for less. As you can see, this car is priced at 96 lakhs ex-showroom. And what you get? No electric steering wheel. I mean, how bizarre is that?
The problem with this reflective material is that there is a lot of reflection and this black plastic or screen picks up a lot of fingerprints really fast. Also, you don't get a keyless start. But good thing about it, your key won't get lost. Also, you do not get keyless entry, so every time you got to walk up to the car, you got to find the key and unlock it.
With this price point, you might be thinking auto dimming mirrors are standard, but you gotta pay extra. For the Indian markets, they have moved the steering wheel to the right, but they forgot to move the big hump that was originally on the passenger side, which compromises you on your footwell space, and it's a little bit clamped inside there. Also, this car doesn't have any diesel options, so the only option you have is a petrol. Porsche thinks Android phones are cheap, so they have not fitted the screen with Android Auto, but they have fitted with Apple CarPlay. It's wired though. But at the end of the day, anyone would pay any amount of money that these people ask, because anyone would do anything for that crest in the center of the steering wheel. Now let's talk one of the major updates on the interior, that was your infotainment screen. As you can see, it's bigger, sharper, crisper and better. As you can see over here, it has an inbuilt map which is pretty responsive. As you move around the finger, you can zoom in, zoom out. There are no buttons over here to take you there. Now coming to your media.
Is not active.
Thank you, Porsche. As you can see over here, you have your media options in which you have your Bluetooth connectivity and wired Apple CarPlay. Also, the problem with the infotainment screen is, as you can see, these buttons are really small, so it's a little bit of a task to operate them while you're driving. But overall, speaking about the infotainment screen, it is really a piece of work.
And as you can see, the buttons are gone, which leaves you with this new digital touch buttons with haptic touch, which does give you a feedback, but it isn't strong enough. So every time you're driving and to operate this screen, you just have to take your eyes off the screen. Except for the climate controls, you still have some physical buttons, and they have got a really good touch and feel to it. Even the sounds are good. Let's take a look. The problem with this reflective material is that there is a lot of reflection. Also, I like to bring your attention to this off-road button, which sets the car into off-road settings so you can take your Macan off-road. The back seat of the Porsche Macan, as you can see instantly, the sloping roof line doesn't help with your headroom. So if you're a tall guy, headroom is going to be an issue for you. Knee room is fine, but you're going to request the passenger to move the seat a little further so that you can sit comfortably. Footwell space is nice. The seats are positioned in a nice way. I do not have a lot of space over here, so my under thigh support is good. On the side, you've got this big window and this big glass roof, which is a panoramic sunroof, which of course opens, but as you can see, the windows do not go all the way down, which means it could be a little bit of problem for your kids because it's just not the comfiest spot. But other than that, you've got an armrest in which your hand goes, but if you just sit on the edge, I think it is a pretty decent, comfortable position. Now you've got your isofix points right here, though you have to keep the track of them because you might lose them, and at the end of the day, it's just a small car with just a fairly standard back seat. Also, the back seat split in a 60-40 ratio, and the bed is pretty flat, so sliding around items from the back to the front is pretty easy. Which brings me on to the boot space of this car, and as you can see, it's a fairly standard boot. You've got your lights over here, you've got your grab hook on each corner, and you have a small net to keep the smaller items so that don't keep flying around. Also, an interesting thing over here, you have a 12-volt socket to charge up some, I don't know what you want to charge in the boot, but it is there because Porsche have given it to you. The boot space is standard across all Porsche variants, which is 458 liters with the seat in the standard position. Driving the Porsche Macan, and the first thing you notice, this car is an absolute delight to drive. Porsche have nailed this car while they were making it. The steering wheel, the engine, the throttle, everything works in such good harmony. And of course, like I've said before, Porsche are in a different league of their own. There is nothing like a Porsche on the road. The overall feel of the car is absolutely luxurious. The car floats on the road, it glides, and it feels pretty amazing. And I just can't get over this steering wheel because it does feel nice. And also another part about the car is that the drive mode selector is on the steering wheel, so you do not have to take your eyes off the road, and you can just change the drive mode from right over here. Right now we were in comfort, now we're in sport, now we are in sport plus, and you can see that RPM needle just putting a gear down, and this car flies. Whoa. The visibility in this car is amazing. You've got a big window, the blind spots are minimal, the side view mirrors are big and chunky, so you can see a lot of things. Also, a lot of people feel the trouble where the rear window is pretty much useless, but the visibility is good. But of course, when you've got passengers at the back, it is definitely going to be a problem for you. So sitting in traffic, you realize that this car's insulation is not that great, as you can hear a lot of noises from outside, which is not a good thing considering the price of this car. I mean, I'm paying almost 1 CR for a car, and I've got to listen to these horns. And now it's time to do the thing where we flow this car and find out what's the 0 to 100 is on this beast. What's my final verdict on the Porsche Macan? So if you're looking for something that's a bit more practical, bit more comfortable, and a bit more technologically advanced, and something that you might be chauffeured around in, this is not the car for you. But if you're looking for a compact SUV which is amazing to drive and is thrilling, and you're an adrenaline junkie who likes to get behind the wheel, this is definitely the car for you. You should for sure go ahead for a test drive for this and go against the herd of the BMW, Audis and Mercs around in the market, and you should definitely consider this car. See you guys in the next video.